So I'm doing some projects here in Arizona. It's starting to cool down. It's now roughly in the mid to high 80s during the day. And I wanted to show you something because I had taken every fish that I thought inside over the summer where our temperature gets to about 115 degrees. And obviously, I can't really count them, but I can tell you that there are probably over 30-40 fish in here. There must have been a female left behind, but I left this running just because I was trying to grow some plants in here and it worked. But another thing I wanted to show you guys is I'm going to start doing aquaponics back here, and this thing is actually leaking from the bulkhead, so I have to figure this out. So I just have the pump going, agitating the water in here, but growing some duckweed in here. I should have some dwarf sage in there too, but it's really cloudy, the water, and the duckweed's thriving, and so is the dwarf sage. I'll start harvesting the dwarf sage when it starts making more of a carpet. This is just a planted, like, aquarium type deal. I got the idea from Dustin from his book, when I bought his book. And in here I have, I would say, 60 goldfish, 2 fancy goldfish, and the rest feeders, which I grow green hair algae in here and just tear it out and feed it to them. They love it. I was growing duckweed in here too, but the green hair algae seems to be taking over it. But that's okay, because I'm just using this stuff for food for the goldfish. But with that said, duckweed is really easy to grow. I keep it. I started with a quarter of this bucket, and as that was growing, I was putting it in here. And you can see this takes up a large amount of this. And I actually have a lot of duckweed inside too in some of my fish tanks, but that's basically it, guys. Oh, so the pipes, you know, it's not running on a closed loop like I said, because as I was running this, I was noticing that the bulkhead was leaking water and continues to leak water. So what I do when I'm doing a water change on this tank to keep the goldfish healthy and happy, so I wait for, during the week, this empties out probably lose about 20 gallons of water out of here. This is if I had to estimate, this is probably a 50 or 60 gallon tote. Okay, so I lose about 20 gallons. So what I do is I connect this pipe to the pump and just let it go in there. Once it starts coming out here like it was supposed to in the beginning, I stop it, and then I fill this up with fresh water, and all the plants that I have in here can thrive, and they're all hardy plants, and they can take temperature change, except for the duckweed. I hear the duckweed doesn't do good in the wintertime, but I'm not too concerned about that right now because it's still in the 80s during the day. So I think the duckweed should be just fine. Once I start to see it die off, I'll move more of it inside, but I have a lot of it inside anyway, like I was saying earlier. But that's it. This is just a new project I'm running eventually. I'm starting some hot peppers inside, and then eventually those will be ready to come outside as well. But I'm not sure. I gotta do some research on the peppers. I don't think I can grow them in here in the wintertime, but it's gonna be kind of hard to grow them in the summertime with the heat, so this might have been the best time to do it. So I might just grow them inside this year and just see what happens. But I'm experimenting as much as possible, and this is what I got going on. And by the way, this and that, they absolutely cost me nothing. The local fish store actually gave this one to me, and I actually traded this here for some fish, and I drilled the hole, and unfortunately this bulkhead, because of the weight of the pipe, is making a gap, and it's causing enough of it to come out where this thing will end up breaking. I mean, this is really chintzy wood. It's the stuff you don't really want to use this as a shelf for any fish tank. I just have it going the way it is now, just as an experiment. This will be more permanent and better once I get something going that I want to start growing. But anyway, you guys have a great day. Please comment, rate, and subscribe.